Get all this stuff turned off. All right, we are live with episode 31 of Flag to Flag Media Live. As always, somebody, if you're watching, please give us a thumbs up for audio. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I kind of want to start tonight just with a little bit of, what was that, last Wednesday we lost Carly Holt.
Right, a big viewer.
That was, yes, Carly had became a very, very big viewer of the Flag to Flag Media Live show. So it's a pretty tragic loss.
All around great guy.
Absolutely.
At the racetrack.
Yep.
He would do anything for you.
Yep.
And friendly.
He would message me too after the show sometimes about, has a good show, I like what you're doing, that type of stuff. So that's going to be a big loss.
We went to the viewing and I got up there to see his wife and everything, and she said that him and his boy Mason used to sit on the bed and watch the show, and it's kind of hard not to tear up, man.
Absolutely.
That kind of hit the feelers, and he was a good dude.
I do know that there is a thing going around Facebook. I think Robert White posted. That's who I went through to get mine. But they're selling decals. They're $10 a piece. Please, $10 is not. We all waste $10 a week buying something. Get with them and get one of those decals bought. Put it on a beer fridge in the garage or whatever. Just help that family out. So
chances are, if you're a real race car driver, Carly spent at least $30 worth of time helping you.
Oh, wow. Absolutely.
$10 back to him, and his family. That's the least we can do as racers.
Right.
Yep.
We do have Jacoby Hines behind the scenes waiting to come on. We will be with Jacoby via video chat. We did get hooked. Me and Jacoby went through, got all the technical stuff out of the way earlier so we could make sure we were tuned in and ready to go. We got on a little bit later. I think we were 8:01 tonight because JT's pop exploded down there and he had to get paper towels out of the cabinet and get his pop all wiped up and all that stuff.
It's like Neil with the kid, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Good Lord. I don't know how Megan does
it. In tonight, he had to give me crap about taking his park.
He took my park. Listen, they're sitting here bad mouthing me, but if you go to last week's episode to 18 minutes and 17 seconds, everybody says, oh, we miss JT, and that's what it's all about. I'm not here because of me. I'm not here because of publicity. I'm here to help these guys out and make this a good show.
Wow.
Bo did a lot better than I think he.
Bo did an awesome job. Bo was.
We can't really say nothing.
I actually think we got more viewers last week with Bo on than we had with any episode of JT.
Well, that's because I was watching.
It's just analytics of it, but I'm just saying that, it's crazy.
We doubled viewers. We went from 1 to 2 last week.
Yeah,
because I was watching.
A little bit of other news. Me and Peyton have some big things coming here in the next week or two for the Flag to Flag Media team. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
You're not going to announce it yet?
Nope. I ain't letting the cat out of the bag until it's ready to go. So
I'm going to be.
I'll post pictures.
I'm going to be the bigger man here, and I'm going to go ahead and say that the 2022 Winter Series track champion of the SILMWS series
right here
was Matt Lamar.
I won the points championship in late models. I won Rookie of the Year, and I won the modified points.
He beat me at the last race fair and square because I started out with 2 wins. I thought, man, I had him covered, and then I got a 5th and couldn't recover after.
I looked good, didn't I?
He looked good. He's looked good all year.
Car was set up perfect. I mean, it was nice.
Pretty much everybody improved all year for the most part.
I've started all my speeches for the banquet, by the way.
Have you?
Yep, I sure have. I've got 3 of them to give. So,
there Josh, comment. Josh, I don't know why you don't race with us. Right. We begged you to race and you won't do it.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have an Xbox.
Oh, Peyton, you got an Xbox?
No.
Well, that'll be next year's purchase. Yeah. We'll get into that.
I'll get you an Xbox. Owen says custom setups and dirty driving will help anyone.
I was just being easy on everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
you wasn't easy on my door panel.
I didn't want
to send me to the hot dog stand more than anybody in the game. I don't want to hear that. So, all right, you guys ready to bring Jacoby in?
Let's bring him in.
Let's bring him in.
Let's see. Let's add him to the stream. Jacoby, you there?
How are you guys?
Oh, yeah. We're doing great, bud. We're glad to see you. I know we've been talking about doing this for a while. I know we got some big things coming with the shop talk sometime this year, depending on schedules and, all that good stuff. So If anybody's wanting to know, we are actually in Jacoby's house right now. We talked to Jacoby earlier about maybe getting a house tour, and I know there's some deer heads in the background. We've already talked about those once, but we might have to go through those again. But how you been doing, bud? How's the car coming along?
Pretty good. They been working a lot on it all winter, really. But then got some new things we're going to do, and actually just got it back from Ryan's at Diamond last weekend, and with a fresh body on it. And I think we're going to do some pretty cool new things on the body, and maybe see how much that helps and go with it. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think we finished the year okay, but the start of the year out awful. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah. If anybody has a question for Jacoby too, don't hesitate to put it in the comments, and we will make sure we ask Jacoby your question and get it answered.
He said to ask the hard questions.
Ask hard questions. He wants hard questions.
He's game for it.
He wants hard questions. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about a little bit about your family history for people that don't know. So I know your dad raced for many years, Brownstown Speedway Hall of Fame. Your brother Jeremy raced for many years. So let's talk a little bit about your family history at Brownstown.
Well, kind of like you said, I mean, my dad, he raced, since they're, mid to early 80s and on to, I don't know, he probably stopped racing kind of about the time that I started racing. So I don't know, 11, 12 years ago. So he had a great career. If I can win half the amount of wins that he's got, I can walk away from this and be pretty happy.
Right.
Then he kind of started slowing down in his racing career, and my brother Jeremy got involved, and Jeremy took it kind of to another level, and he won and everything, and from the street stocks to the supers to the crates, and he's won a lot of races, and a lot more than what people think.
Right.
And then I kind of came along, and I didn't give a shit about fendered cars. So I like the modifieds. I've liked it since I've been a kid, and that's the path I chose. And here we are, and struggling. Great years, no doubt about it. Up until last year, the last really 5 years, I feel like for a local area, we've been something to reckon with. But things will get better this year. I'm very confident of it.
Right. Do you ever have any plans of doing anything else other than modified racing?
Absolutely not. The only way, if I change anything in racing, so I did run a bomber. They were called bomber cars back in the day when I got racing. I bought Matt Cummings. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he had like the best bomber car in history. And I bought that car, turnkey, race ready, and I never drove anything before. And basically, the car was 50 times better than I was.
Right.
And the problem I had, I never won in it. That's my biggest regret in racing, is I never won in that car. And because I had guys like Steven Godsey, Bub Cummings, like really good drivers I was racing against. And I ran third to those guys. If they're listening to this, they can tell you. I ran third to those guys like every single week. Yep. And it wasn't that they had a better car than I did. I had a better car than them. They just could outdrive me.
Right.
But anyways, and then I think everybody's seen how good of a car I had. And some guy offered me a shit ton of money for it. And
hard to pass up.
But I wanted to go modified racing. So that was my opportunity, and took it and ran with it. Had no business doing it as far as ability yet, but I did it.
I got you. You guys can chime in too. But anyway, Jacoby, can you see the comments? I don't know if you can see the comments or not, but
I cannot. I'm kind of scared too. So
Trent Lush said, "Are you ready for Brownstown?" And then Morgan Wells said, "Can't wait to see you in action. You're my favorite modified driver." What are your 2023 plans, Jacoby? Are you just going to run here like regionally, like around Southern Indiana type stuff, or what is your plan?
Yeah, so I always have a few tracks I always try to hit every year. I always try to go to Florence a time or two. I always try to get down to my favorite racetrack, my two favorite racetracks, Lake Cumberland and Farmer City. I'll probably hit those a time or two. But for the most part, it'll be, Bloomington, Brownstown, and I'm not going to lie, the Circle City deal it looks pretty enticing. And
it's got a lot of people talking right now for sure.
It does for sure. And, we got another car sitting here, pretty much ready to go. I thought about maybe running just one car just for Fridays at Circle City, and then this new car, for Brownstown or wherever we go. But I actually seen my brother do that one year, and to try to hustle two different cars in the summer. He probably won't admit it, but I think it hurt him more than it helped him, just because of the work that it takes, right? Like,
right.
Double the maintenance, and hell, let's just admit it. There's going to be times you're going to have two tore up race cars to fix in one
right,
week.
exactly.
One. So I don't know. We'll talk all that over with the Winters family and see how all that goes.
Speaking of them, Jacoby, let's talk about David Winters and your involvement, his involvement with you and vice versa, and how did all that come together? And because I know that you guys it's been a big asset to your race program. So talk on that a little bit.
Absolutely. So they're a great family, great people. How all that went about is I honestly, I didn't even know them at all. And I knew their driver at the time, Bill Lewis. He's a great driver. He's won tons of races up north. And he had a diamond car, and he hit me up. And this was in that era and years that I was running really good and winning all the time. And they asked me for some tech support. And I went up to their shop one day and went through all their stuff and basically got them set up, right? And literally the very first week after I set all their stuff up, he drove right around me and Ryan at Brownstown, a track that it's not his best racetrack, and beat us. And I thought, damn, I probably gave him too much information. You know what? I didn't, I gave him a fair shake. I was honest with them. I gave him everything that I thought, because they were paying me and to help them out. And David Winters, Sr., I think he appreciated that. And he appreciated, because the Winters family was fairly new into the modified stuff. And I think he took it as like, this is one of the few people that ain't tried screwing me over in racing.
Right.
And so basically, he took a liking to me, and we hit it off, after that, just chatting, talking. And he told me, privately, like, he's like, I got some plans. I want to help you out next winter or next summer. And I was like, okay, cool. Just get with me. And man, it was the week after the Jackson, he passed away. And and at the time, I really didn't even know the boy, David Winters Jr. And it was, I went to the funeral and everything and did all that. And David Winters Jr., the boy, reached out to me, and he's like, my dad had, plans for you to help you out. And I want to follow through with it. And here we are.
That's cool. That's a cool story.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally that simple. So
that's awesome though. Really. Derek Walden, which you watch our show, he's always on here commenting, and we always joke about him being behind the scenes and whatever, but he says, Jacoby Hines, do you think you could get in Stalker's car this season and win him a race so he's not so depressed all the time? you gonna let Jacoby drive for you this year?
I'm not even gonna answer. I know he can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, Stalker's got a good race car. I think he's got a good program. I think he's got all the tools, right? You just got to put it together. And I've done it. I know what it takes. And it's just a matter of making it all happen.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
Yeah.
But Jacoby's got faith in you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, at least someone
got
does.
faith in you. Willie Salee is watching, which is cool. Hey, Willie. Becky Rainey, Ashley said, Hines boys, great racers. Jacoby is a little less of a hothead than Jeremy. Fun to watch.
Let me ask you this.
Well, from all those years that Jeremy drove for Jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I raced with my brother too. How was your guys' chemistry at the racetrack and not at the racetrack? Did you guys get along all the time? Did you guys fight over stuff? Or?
So I don't care if it's we're playing horse or pitching washers or poker or anything. Literally, I'm sure there's a lot of people probably watching this right now laughing because they know what I'm getting ready to say. But no, we'd be in a fist fight. And be rolling around.
I knew that was coming. Yeah.
Mom would be beating the hell out of us to get us broke up. And there's no way in hell we would ever be able to race against each other every week.
Right.
We did it one time, actually 2 times. And he got a ride for Kerry Trowbridge. It's passed away. And in a diamond car, and we were at Bloomington one night, and it was his first time ever sitting in the car. Like, he never drove it, he never done nothing, and he went out and won his heat race, and I went out and won my heat race, and typical Bloomington, they did this invert you again and invert you 2 more times. So I think we both had to start like second or third row of the feature, and he got out kind of ahead of me and took the lead, and I got in a second. And I'll tell you this, he knows deep down. There's a video somewhere, but I was just reeling him in, and laps were winding down, and I was just driving as hard as I could go. And I didn't mean to, but I punted him. And I mean, like, literally for the win with like 4 laps to go. And so obviously the outside of the people made it a bigger deal than what it was.
Right.
I was the faster car, but he was going to win the race because there was really no other way for me to get around him. And just the way the track was, right? And but I did not mean to. I was just drove it down off in there and hit him and spun him out. But the outside people kind of made it a bigger deal than what it should have been. What a lot of those people didn't even know was how me and Jeremy was drinking beer together after the races, kind of half-ass laughing about it.
Right.
So,
I was going to ask you if you went and gave him a hug after it was over with or not.
Honestly, we were fine because I think we knew both how serious it was. But if it's stuff not as serious, whether it's poker or basketball or whatever, we'll get real serious about stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you guys asked some questions too.
I just killed it.
Let's get a little bit of your take on what's going on in the racing world, Jacoby. I know the prices of stuff's going up. How much has that affected your race program? I know it affects everybody, right? But 2 cars, it's got to be rough. It has to be.
Yeah. I get it. Prices are going up for everything, right? But, okay, so I work in the housing industry, and everybody's making more money too, though, right? So it's really, I feel like anybody that has a job is making more money right now than what they were 3 years ago, right? And so prices have went up, but we're all making more money. So to me, the way I look at it is it is what it is, and we just keep moving money.
Yep, that's how
racers are going to race.
That's right. So, like I said, I was racing before, and I'll be racing whenever. But I just, the deal with Winter's family is just kind of taking us to another level as far as equipment.
Speaking of money, I do want to ask this question too, from a racer standpoint, which I know there's some in the room with me, but with the money aspects that's going on out there now, does that kind of decide whether you money race or you points race? You know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, so what's cool is, so we got basically the 10,000 right at Bloomington coming up for the Roddy Harris, which is an awesome event. I hope everybody comes out and supports that. Roddy was a great guy. I actually drove for Roddy one race, maybe two, and but Roddy taught my kids how to eat peanuts. I literally have to crack the shell and everything. Roddy was an awesome guy, but so you got 10,000 for that, and I'm not, there's no press release here by no means, but I will say there's another 10,000 to win race that's going to be coming up in our area that just ain't public yet. But
right.
There's all kinds of money floating around, right? And it's awesome. I'd give anything to win something like that. And Matt, here's the deal. So you start paying out all this money, right?
Right.
Guess what you're going to get? You're going to get more people in it with more money.
Right.
And I don't want Devin Gilpin to sit back and say, hey, man, they're paying out all this money for modifieds. I'm just going to run a modified every week.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So you kind of got to be careful with how much money you're paying out.
Right.
You can't get out of hand. We do have a shit ton of money in these cars, absolutely. But
that ain't no lie.
Out big versus big paydays.
Right.
Who's to say Michael Chilton or Dustin Limble or Josh Rice isn't going to get back in modifieds?
Right. Right. Well, it's kind of like the 20,000 win crate race at Paragon this year. I mean, that's a huge payday for crates, but I mean, you're going to draw in some cars that are going to be some hot shoes for sure.
And I ain't so sure my dad ain't building one for that race.
Right. Right.
Everybody, like from Germer, everybody, like they're focusing on this 20,000 to win at Paragon, and you know what? They've all got a shot at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you did hit the nail on the head. The bigger the purses get, the more eyes it's going to open, and the more cars are going to show up. So. 100%. I think it's a good thing for the sport, but I think it's just for, you got mid-budget racers that want to see that too. But on the other hand too, I mean,
as a fan, you got the guys wanting to see the Southern Indiana guys win that $10,000 mod race, or Southern Indiana guy win that crate.
Right.
Like when I go watch Paragon, I want Steve Peden, or I want Tyler Neal, or I want somebody. Right. If I go to the Bloomington, I want to watch Jacoby or Zach or Braden, somebody that's local win it.
Not somebody come in from out of state.
Right. Make them look bad. Show them that we're real here.
Right.
I just want to make that Roddy show. That'd be sweet.
That'll be tough, I think, to make a show that night.
Battle. You're going to have to build, tune a lap, qualifying and get started on that front row of a heat race for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be key right there.
For sure.
He's got a really good crew helping him that night, Jacoby.
I've ran a lot of Bloomington in the last 7-8 years, and that's what it takes.
Yeah.
You got to put a whole show together for sure.
That's right.
What is your biggest payday, Jacoby?
So my very first win ever was at Lake Cumberland Speedway in a Larry Shaw car at the Lake Cumberland Classic. I'd never won a race before in my life. I think that one was 1,500. I think I won another 1,500 at the Fall Classic at Ponderosa. I think by the time all the extra money was kicked in was that Twin Cities. I don't know what it was called at the time, the Gambler Shootout or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I know it was the race of my life, because this was back when Devin was in his heyday, and we threw sliders basically the last 4 laps, and I invented it. And I think that deal ended up paying like $2,100 or $2,000 or some shit by the time I got all the extra cash that was kicked in.
Right. I got you. Willie Slee said, you are my best friend and one of the drivers sorry, I'm having trouble reading. And one good driver, and you are not rough on the other drivers. So that's that's a good props to you, buddy. And Chase McCoy said, I'm your biggest fan, Jacoby. Oh, somebody else.
House. His dad was wiring some electronics up on my race car earlier, and his dad's a hell of a mechanic. And Chris McCoy, a lot of you people probably know him, but man, he's a good guy to have in your corner. He's just so smart, and I'll give him the keys to anything I own, and just go do it, because he can do everything, and he's going to do it very well.
I seen somebody up here ask too, Jacoby, about T-shirts. You don't have any T-shirts this year?
So, Yeah, we're working some stuff out with Alicia Winters, and I don't think the details have been finalized, but I'd say there'll be some T-shirts this summer for sure.
Okay. Well, when you get them, I'll make sure I post them out. That way, get you some T-shirts sold. Matt Hamilton said, "I've heard UMP made Jacoby take a mental health test to see if he could drive a race car. Any truth to this?" Did you have to take a test?
For me smelling Matt's tires too much. But Matt's a great guy. Good. I mean, hell, I was at his wedding. We're really good buddies. Yeah. He if he can get the chemicals right in his pool as good as he does his tires, he'd be in good shape.
That's funny. Aaron Fields wants to know if there's a trivia question for a T-shirt. We'll give away Jacoby Hines T-shirt on tonight's show.
My cousin Aaron, he's the man. I'll give him a T-shirt any day.
So I got to give Aaron some props. You know, JT was really, really hard on me when we started this whole gig about having a sign off for the night, and give props to Aaron because he did come up with the "see you when the next flag flies." So,
and talk about a wheel band. Aaron was one of the best ever wheel car, in my opinion.
Great.
Jacoby, you guys raced bombers together, didn't you? Or did he come in
right
behind
when
you?
I was getting out, he was coming in. We may have transitioned a race or two, but it was not very many.
I got you.
You know, me and Aaron, we literally grew up together. You know, his mom and my dad are brother and sister. So
got you.
We go way back, and Aaron's very smart on a race car. He knows how to set them up, and especially, you know, the bombers and street stock stuff. He knows his stuff about that.
Gotcha. What did you watch any of the Winter Nationals down in Florida?
Every lap, every race.
What was your thoughts on it? Who do you think will be hot this year? I know it's kind of hard to judge between East Bay and Volusia and Golden Isle and all that, but
well, obviously, you know, it's cliche, but like everybody, you know, Florida's Florida. You can't take nothing from it, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
I'll say it. This is actually the first year that I haven't been to Florida Speed Weeks to go hang out and watch in the last 7 years. But I did watch every lap, every race, you know, for all the Speed Weeks. It's hard to tell. You still are not going to be able to count. Are you talking about for mods or supers?
But either whatever, any of it.
Okay, that's kind of the same answer. I mean, it's the guys that you know, Davenport's still going to win his races. I think Overton's just kind of sitting back licking his chops.
Right.
Hudson's going to be a handful at certain racetracks. They've all kind of got their areas and regions. And then as far as the modified side goes, that Lucas Lee's got a hell of a fast race car. I know that.
Right.
And, you know, obviously nicely. So who knows? It's the same guys.
I think a lot of times we get so hyped up about Winter Nationals that, you know, that's when all the drama starts with Rocket and Longhorn and who's going to dominate. Like you said, Florida is Florida. I mean, you can't. It is what it is. But in March, when it all restarts, it's going to be totally different. You know.
Do you think we're going to see some of those mod guys at Bloomington? Some of them big mod names like Lucas Lee and what's that one you like, Zach? That 5 car.
I'll lay money on it. You'll see Lucas Lee now. Hoffman, right? Like him running World Outlaws, as long as he's still in it at the time.
Bollinger and Trotman. I mean, there's some big names around. You know, maybe that could come to that.
You know, hell, I've already been kind of talking to Kyle about Strickler about it, which me and him's real good buddies, and he ain't counting it out yet. So, which there's not I told him, I was like, Kyle, there's not a wall around that track. I don't know if you can stay.
You don't have nothing to keep him in.
I guarantee you wouldn't want him starting on the front row of a heat race.
Right. What other big races do you have on your schedule? I know we did talk about tracks and where you're going and stuff, but is there anything else that sticks out in your mind as far as anything besides the 10,000 win shows?
Man, I mean, you know, if I win $600 or $700 or $800, I'm pulling home at midnight just as happy as if I won $1,500. It's the same thing to me.
Right.
And it don't matter. You know, I do want to. You know, I literally gave. My fault, 100% gave 3 races away last year, and it's been eating me up all winter. And we wasn't very good last year, but I did have 3 races that I should have won that I didn't. And Lake Cumberland, I think it was for 1,000 or 1,500. I set fast time, won my heat race, led every single lap of the feature, and I got passed and got beat by like literally 3 feet getting the checkered. And that's ate me up. So I've been itching to get back here and kind of see if I can redeem myself. Florence, kind of the same deal. Led every lap of a feature, had a caution 2 to go, and Brian Barber did what Brian Barber does. He's really good. And he schooled me on a restart, and I lost that one. And I feel like we gave one away at Brownstown this year too. So
I got you. Yeah, those are always hard to swallow.
I'm just ready to go race.
That's a matter of respect for the driver saying that he did it.
Right.
You know, a lot of guys will be like, well, tire sealed up or burnt the top, buzz the tires on start, but you're taking full credit for it. And I think you don't see that much.
You know, the deal at Lake Cumberland, I might be able to blame a little bit on my dad, but there was just this hole getting into turn 1, and my dad was standing in. If anybody's ever been to Lake Cumberland, there's an opening in the track right there going into 1, and he was standing right there at that opening, giving me signals for the feature. On like lap 2, you know, I just took off, my stuff fired off. The car was great. And I hit this hole because I looked up at my dad. Now, you can get below the hole and you can get above it, but you did not want to drive through it. And I took my eyes off the corner going into 1 for just a split second to look to see what my dad was telling me. And I hit this hole, shoved the nose, about hit the wall. And I told myself, dumbass, quit looking. I want to win the race, right? And if I just hit my marks, do my thing, and well, honestly, the last lap, I wish I'd looked at my dad. He was climbing the fence, telling me go to the top, and I didn't look at him. So,
buddy, I don't always listen to my dad either. I understand. That's a hard one to swallow.
Everybody's like, get rid of you signal guys. No, that's bullshit. I'm telling you, I've lost as many races on signals as I've won races on signals.
Right.
Anybody that's raced long enough probably's had the same thing happen.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Definitely.
It's different from our viewpoint of what signal guys do compared to drivers, because I'm not in the car. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know if you're looking at your signal guy or if a lot of the drivers don't even look at their signal guy. You know what I mean? So it's hard to judge that.
Yeah, I mean, it gets pretty sophisticated, really. So, like, you know, obviously, I know the Weavers do this. I know the Gilpins do it. I know we do it. So, like, you know, we might have multiple people, right? So, like, Stalker's running second. I'm hoping he's probably staring at my brother on the backstretch, right? But really, he's not the one giving me the real signals. It's somebody else, whether they're on the stretch or whatever. So, like, they don't know what the hell's going on.
Right. Makes a big difference.
Stalker's signal guy is really good. Like, he's helped him quite a bit, I would say, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Who?
My dad.
No.
Oh.
Now, come on.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Just always be careful on who you're really looking at if you're trying to look at somebody else's signals, because it's more than likely not the real signals.
They're more than one.
Jacoby, you feel free to look at me anytime. I'll tell you what I'm telling Zach, because he won't listen anyway.
Right?
Are you going to have your stuff ready for the icebreaker, Jacoby? You ready to go for the icebreaker?
All I'm missing is fuel right now, and to get Dallas Miller up here to put the wrap on the car, and obviously, you know, get tons of tire work. So
Dallas did comment a while ago and said, "What a pimp!" So he must be ready for you.
Yeah, I think he's coming up Saturday morning. So.
I got you. Was there any other questions?
Chris is still talking about Ethan Dotson up there.
Yeah, he's still talking about.
He won't let that go. We all know Adam Stricker was the guy to beat that night.
Right.
Yeah, Florence. Dotson came around Stricker. Was it the last lap?
Yeah,
but Stricker was good the whole night.
He was.
I really like Stricker. I think the guy's just a wheel man. I'm a big fan of his.
You know, again, like all the rest of the elite people, they've got superb race cars, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You all know what a race car can do. You know, the driver's still got to drive the car, but the elite cars are they're really good.
They're tough to beat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But you know, I watched Ryan Thomas a couple times into last year, and I thought Ryan Thomas was just as fast as And that's a different kind of diamond, right? That's some kind of new thing he's come up with.
So me and him built those cars together, basically, and my dumbass got in a hurry and wanted to get it out before him. And so me and him had the very first two. And I didn't really want to wait. Ryan's if anybody knows Ryan, he's a really laid back, like he don't care, like la-di-da. Next month we'll worry about it, but like I'm ready to go. I got this new race car he designed, and I had really high hopes for it, and it's it's an awesome race car. But my dumb ass went ahead and was like, no, I want to push through. I want to get this thing out by 4th of July. And we pushed through it. And he can tell you, and some of the other people in the know can tell you, we didn't have the bugs worked out of it. A lot of that was me. Some of that was just the new design. I mean, like literally, I raced that car 14 nights last year. We had 2 different shock packages on it, which ain't that big of a deal, but we had 3 different sets of shear plates, 2 different sets of bird cages, 2 or 3 different pull bars in it. I mean, like we was just trying to figure this new car out. And obviously Ryan's sitting back licking his chops, watching me go through all these growing pains, and he came out of the box hot.
He came out hot. It looked good.
Hot. And, that was awesome at the Jackson, what he did. It was badass. I mean, Ryan's my brother-in-law, right? So we were pitted together, and he earned those wins. He had he did the best job of driving and had the best race car those nights.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ryan's a very smart man for sure.
Yeah,
there's no doubt on that.
He's one of the drivers where you're not going to be able to just sit back and follow him because he's not going to make a mistake.
Right.
One of those. There's some people you can kind of let them mess up a little bit and take advantage. He ain't going to mess up. You just better figure, if you're going to pass him, you better figure another way around it.
Right.
And I tell you what, he's really busy. I called up there this week, Monday or Tuesday, and he's like, they're booked out on stuff because I got some stuff I need him to do for me, and he's booked out.
No, they're slam busy. Business is good. Those 2 wins he had at the Jackson, I mean, I'd say just those 2 wins alone, yeah, they paid like $1,000 a piece or whatever, which, Ryan don't give 2 shits about that. But just those 2 wins probably sold him 10 race cars this winter.
Oh, I bet.
Maybe.
Right. And he looked really good down there at Florence too that night that Dotson and Stricker were running. I mean, that was like Ryan's first night out in it, and he was running 3rd.
Hidden secret, people don't know this, except for the people from maybe that area, but Florence Speedway is Ryan Thomas's best hands down racetrack. Like the dude just has it figured out with his driving style and that racetrack on how the line that he likes to run is where nobody else runs. So he has an open racetrack, and his setups just fits that line at Florence, and it fits him very well. And he'll tell you that Florence is just an awesome racetrack for diamond race cars and Ryan.
That's awesome. Tracy Alt said that maybe your dad should wear a hot pink sweatshirt like Bob Pierce. Would you look at him if he had a hot pink sweatshirt on?
Yeah, probably. I
couldn't see your dad wearing a hot pink sweatshirt.
Yeah, I tell you what, I got to go to your dad's shop once. I was at Masters Built, and your dad was up there at Masters Built, and we were talking, and I was new to the street stock game at the time, and he's like, I'll tell you what, I got some of Jeremy's old shocks. He said, come down here, and he said, I'll hook you up with some shocks. And his shop is beautiful.
Yeah, so they sold that, and
he sold that
because Jeremy moved down to Buffalo, Kentucky for work, and or relocated, I guess. And mom and dad sold that place. He still kept all the hunting property in the back. They got 40 or 50 acres back here, or 60 acres of hunting ground. They kept all that. That's where I kill all my deer, and But they sold all that. Mom retired, and they bought a place down in Florida, and shit, they're down there all the time.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought that I'd drive by there some still, and I was like, I'd go in there again, just check it out. But
it was kind of one of those where, with Jeremy moving on, to Kentucky, why have a place that big of a shot? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's for just 2 old ass people to live in that big of a place, and So mom retired, and she wanted to go to Florida, and that's what they did. They bought a place down there, and hell, I don't know if they'll ever come home.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I didn't
Live it
know.
up.
I didn't know they'd moved down there. I talked to your dad
for family vacations for sure.
Oh yeah, I talked to your dad to races, and I didn't know that they moved down there. And we just got talking about years past, whatever. But it's like, we just got back from Florida, and I said, from Florida, and he said that they bought a house down there, and I was like, I didn't know that either till this past summer. So that's awesome though.
So,
but that's the kind of guy your dad is too, because like he sold me them shocks for nothing. And he didn't know me from a hole in the wall. I was just at Mastersville getting a bumper, and we got to talking, and your dad's like, well, come down, I'll hook you up. And I mean, I thought a lot of that.
Jacoby, who do you have on board this year that you want to give a shout out to? I always like to make sure drivers get their sponsors out there, because those are huge.
Obviously, David Winters Jr. and Alicia Winters, I can't speak enough for what all they do. I mean, like literally, like they ask me, what do we need to get? What do we need to do? I'm like, damn, we got everything. Like, let's just, calm down. But whatever I want, they'll get it. So they're an awesome sponsor. Jason Clarkson Logging, 31 Auto Group with Chad. Chad helps me out a lot. Honey Creek Auto, Diamond Race Cars, right? We got these 2 new race cars, and I'll promise you this, that the KT3 stuff is on the rise up. I seriously have a feeling in the next year or two, it's going to be kind of like the days of 3 or 4 years ago when, if there's 20 cars at the racetrack, 15 of them is going to be diamonds.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of good things coming. So, but anyways, David Winters, Allgaier Performance and Parts, awesome people. Eric Chalmers up there, great guy. If you ever need anything, look him up. Hoosier Tire Midwest. I don't know. You kind of caught me off guard there, bud. I only won 1 race last year, so I didn't get to mention my sponsors much. I forgot.
That's why we want to make sure we do it on here.
Right.
Good chance to shout out sponsors.
Yeah,
for sure, because they do a lot for the sport. It doesn't matter whether you're sponsoring a track, a class, a driver, or whatever. A lot of that's what keeps you guys going. So we'll always make sure we want to give a shout out to them.
Absolutely.
For sure. Do you think your brother ever get back in the car?
Maybe. I know, like I said, he bought a place down in Buffalo, which is funny because literally a quarter mile down the road across the highway is Bandit Race Cars, right?
I got you.
So he's still right in a good area. He's talked about, building a new shop down there at his house, and thinking about maybe doing one of those KDRA Street Stock Series cars, which is probably a smart move. I think they race for like $1,200 to win.
Right.
50 times a year, 20 times a year. It's a good little series for down in his area.
Right.
So I would never count him out. And I mean, he's got enough wins in his portfolio to, you never know what kind of ride he'll get.
Right. Exactly.
You said to ask the hard questions. I got a real hard one. You ready for this? Everybody knows we all see the video constantly. Did Jeremy Hines and Dylan White, did they make up?
Have you seen Dylan White since?
I haven't seen Dylan White since.
I made that comment the other day. I see it.
Yeah.
I said I haven't seen Dylan White since then. I ain't seen him since then.
I'll put it that way.
That video resurfaces every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Still piss off.
I think that one move retired. I'm pretty sure.
They're lucky me, my dad, my brothers aren't still in prison over that.
Right. Yeah, that was.
I was there. Deal. I'll never forget it. It was out of nowhere. It was it was something to see.
Pure ignorance. That's the worst, right? And we've all had it happen to us, but just in that situation on that stage with super late models, the headliner of it, I think it was a decent show that night, decent paying show. It just did not need to happen.
Right. Yeah, it was totally could have been preventable. I mean, it was
a good race till that point.
Yeah, it was. Till that point. Oh.
So I think you got your.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. You said to ask the hard ones.
Thanks to
I dove right in.
Hey, he did say before the show he was going to be he's the honest person we have ever known. So we do appreciate it.
Keep them coming.
Doreen Wesselman said, any luck solidifying a Mick Ultra sponsorship? Heard you had a pretty solid reputation with the brand. You a Mick Ultra guy?
I can't. Yeah, I do love them. I can't keep up with her though. So we go out to dinner with them, the Wesselmans. I don't know, once or twice a week, and Michael sits back and drinks his kids' chocolate moo moo milk with my kids, and my wife has a glass of wine, and Darian sucks down the ultras, and I just try to keep up with her.
I got you. Makes sense.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what you was drinking at the banquet, wasn't it? I do remember that now. The Mick Ultras. Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
I got you.
I can see over Zach's pile of drinks that he had.
He had a healthy stack, didn't he, Jacoby? It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost switched tables.
I was with my sponsors, so I had Susanna from Hoosier there, and the winner, so like best behavior.
Oh yeah.
Had to control yourself that night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else for Jacoby?
We're gonna let him be a part of our new segment.
Yeah, we're gonna start a new segment tonight, Jacoby, and we want you to be part of it. So it kind of goes back to a question we asked earlier, but we need you to pick 3. So
it's called JT's 3.
JT's 3.
I'm gonna tell you the 3, and then you guys
just go ahead and take it over, JT.
I'm gonna tell you the 3. And then they're up for debatable. We're going to do 2 classes tonight, but we might just be doing a class or 3 classes every other night. But we're going to pick the top 3 classes when you show up to Brownstown, or top 3 cars that you think in this class will be the most competitive. If you're picking the top 3, you're putting $1 million on top 3. Would these be your top 3? Okay, so we're going to start off with, since it's mods, since Jacoby's a mod guy, I think we should start with the mod guys.
It's JT's top 3.
So I would say if you went to Brownstown on a regular night, and so this is kind of hard because some of the drivers left this year, but last year, I think your power 3 would have been Derek Groomer as 3. No, let's do Braden Watson at 3. Derek Groomer at 2.
No way.
And Jordan Weaver at 1.
You got your 3 wrong. The 3 best modified drivers or cars in the state last year, hands down, bar none, was Jordan Weaver, Derek Groomer, and Derek Losh.
Derek Losh.
Everybody kind of forgets about that guy, being from Indiana. He's a bad hombre. I'm telling you that.
Honestly, I'll just say this. I didn't know much about Derek until Bloomington last year. And I was like, my God.
I'm not even sure I know who that is.
The black 21 car.
Oh, the black 21 car. Yeah, I did forget about him. That's a good call. I couldn't even put a name on that.
Anybody last year. I think he won 21, 22 races last year.
Wow.
When I was up at Shady Hill, hell, he killed us up there for that. I think it was 4,000 or 5,000 to win up there.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. And Weaver was the real deal. And so was Groomer. And, in my opinion, those were the 3 fastest cars in the state of Indiana last year.
What do you think, Zachy?
What's your other class?
Well, let's get Zachy's thoughts too.
Yeah, I agree with him.
You like those 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do, I think crates would probably be the next easiest class. So I'm just saying we show up at Brownstown. If these 3 guys are here, I think there are 3 guys to beat. Steve Peden would be your number 1. I think Steve Peden's got his program figured out. I think number 2 would probably be Chad Stapleton. I thought he had his crate program figured out. And if I was picking a 3rd one, probably would be Tyler Collins because he was there every week and he won some races. I think he got Tyler Neal to contend with and Tyler Kane to contend with.
Was that your top 3?
My top 3 would have been those 3, I think.
What's your top 3, Jacoby?
I would put Tyler Collins at the top, just for the fact that, he's got so much experience now that when he went traveling and all that stuff. And it's like, because I used to do that too when I was younger, but did travel around a lot. When you come back home to race, it just makes things so much easier. And I think that made Collins a better driver. I remember when my brother used to just beat the piss out of him every week. And Tyler was making mistake after mistake, and my brother was turning just solid laps and would win a race. But then when Tyler went out and traveled, and I think it matured him, as a driver, and made him a way better race car driver around here.
I agree with you.
I think that's accurate.
100%.
Yeah, I think we seen Tyler Collins last year that we hadn't seen.
I'm telling you, it changes everything. We did it. Like before kids. Hell, there was no racetrack safe for me. Like I'd go to anything, anywhere.
Right.
We'd race at Farmer City on a Friday and literally truck it all night and go to Lake Cumberland on a Saturday. It's like an 8.5-hour drive. Like we just wanted to race and did it all and went everywhere.
Right.
I mean, from 191 speedways to just you name it, we were there. But it does help you when you come home and race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another question for you, Jacoby. This is a very, very good question. I know the answer, but a lot of viewers might not. How did you come up with 115? Because a lot of drivers don't run 3-digit numbers, but you go ahead and tell us how you did that.
So obviously, Matt, right? I mean, a lot of people probably don't know this. I don't know if you guys have ever talked about it on your show, but Matt Lamar's the third best offensive lineman ever in Brownstown Central football history, which is a pretty damn big deal. And so obviously I was a running back. I ran behind Matt a lot. Matt probably scored me a lot of touchdowns. So I was always number 5 in football, and my dad's race car number was always number 5. And my brother got into racing. He kind of took over the 5H number. So, but my dad was still racing a little bit. His number was 15. And some people within our circle knows this story. It's pretty funny. So when I got into racing, my dad was all the way out. So I thought, okay, well, Jeremy's 5H from my dad. I'll be 15. I'll take the number from the end of his career.
Right.
Well, so we did that, and it didn't work out. So, like, I bought Jimmy Owens's personal modified, and I destroyed it, junked it on the backstretch of Brownstown, second night out. I'd go buy another Jimmy Owens car, brand new, and blew a motor 2 weeks later. And I was always number 15 at the time. And I told my wife, I was like, either I'm quitting or we're going to have to change something. And so I changed my number, and things got a little bit better.
There you go. That's the answer to the 115.
I just added a 1, and that's how it all went down.
I understand his frustrations completely. I tried the 92. It didn't work, so you got to change it back.
You had a rough year in the 92.
Yeah, I get you completely, Jacoby. Sometimes it's just cursed a little bit.
I know. And it's nothing against the 15 number. It just didn't work out for me. And
right.
I just put a 1 in front of it and made it 115. That's the best answer I have.
I think that number's synonymous with you now. I mean, I've seen it on a couple other cars before, but
it's not the same.
It's Jacoby to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
Matt Hamilton said, okay, enough about racing. How's the farm doing? Are the Angus ready for the butcher yet?
The cows are doing great. We got a bunch of little baby sheep coming here in 2 weeks, and the farm's busy, put it that way.
You talked to me at the bank.
Fire. We got kids in swimming full time. We got animals at our ass, and then obviously racing season's hot and heavy, which obviously that's first priority.
Now, you told me at the banquet your daughter's showing sheep. Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, it's my wife's thing. She's
we'll blame it on her.
Showed a sheep like one time in her life, and she thinks she's an expert.
Oh shoot!
So like her and Ryan and their older brother Jason, like they did show some animals, I think, and they all think they're Yellowstone farmers.
So here's a question: does the farm have a name? Can you answer that? I mean, is like the Dirty Dollar Ranch or what? Like what's your name for the farm? That's a hard question.
Any kind of tax credits or anything like that, if that's what you're getting at. But
a whole bunch of new tractors, yeah.
I mean, I have a 40 by 80 big ass barn that I converted into a race shop, and it's a really nice race shop, and for me, and we just got some stalls off to the side, and 10 or 12 acres of pasture, and have some animals. So no name.
No farm name. You're not gonna brand it then, right? Like T-shirts.
Not yet. Not yet. Matt keeps wanting to move up here and be like a ranch hand. He wants to get on my payroll. And
that's why he's asking then.
I just, he's wanting to come up here and act like a farmer. He'll put on funny, like he'll come up here and he'll like put on my cowboy boots or whatever, and he'll think he's a real cowboy, when really he's wearing his skater shoes or whatever it is.
It's hey dudes in a cowboy hat, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
funny. That's funny. Well, Jacoby, we definitely appreciate you coming on tonight. Every time I get a chance to talk to you, like I said, we've known each other for 30 plus years, but anytime I get a chance to talk to you now, it's always a good time.
And we're going to release a shop talk for him, right?
Yes, Jacoby and I talked about it. We're going to do it sometime in the summer, probably.
Gotcha.
Like you said, we got kids full-time swimming, sheep showing, racing.
Shop's just so full, I got 3 race cars in there. I got a brand new frame sitting there, and then our 2 cars, and then it's the shop's crazy right now. It's just full.
Do we need to take your shop talk to like a swim meet or something? Like get some behind the scenes of Jacoby Hines at a swim meet?
I don't know if you guys know anything about the swimming stuff, but it's some next level stuff. We might be that close from selling out all the racing stuff and travel around for swimming, because our kids are hot and heavy in it. They're fortunately really good because they work really hard at it. And swimming, if anybody knows anything about it, it's just hard work, hard work. I've never seen nothing like it. Like, seriously.
Let me ask you this. And I know, like I said, known you a long time. Are you one of those sports dads?
So I bake all the muffins and cookies for all the swim moms. And
there you go.
I'm a major player in the swimming role for all the kids.
As competitive as you are, how are the swim meets for you? Is it very stressful, or are you just like a laid back Jacoby and what happens happens?
Dude, wide open. So literally, my oldest girl, Ella, she's knock on wood, she's pretty good. She does good, right? Because she works her ass off in practice. And this is kind of crazy, but we have signals. I'm the guy in the grandstands, and I'm like either giving her thumbs up, like she did good, you did okay, or thumbs down, or literally we have you got to be stronger, or hell, I'll even give her some of these, and she knows that means go harder.
Right.
And so we literally have signals from the pool.
There you go. I like that.
So we take it pretty serious.
Yeah. I figured you did, but I just thought I'd ask that question. You know what I mean?
Really, to be honest with you. But my kids love it, right? And I see what they go through. Matt, you don't understand how the swimming shit works. Because we didn't have a pool at Brownstown.
No.
Right? It's next level on how hard these kids work.
I bet. That's a lot of work. It's just thinking about it's a lot of work.
We're talking miles and miles of swimming a week just to train.
Right.
And then go out and see your kid do good in all the events. I mean, hell, we've traveled up. We've been up at Purdue swimming on campus up there for 3 days. And we've just been all over the place swimming. And as long as she keeps working hard at it and doing good, I enjoy the hell out of it.
Right. Josh Harris said that he knows what you're talking about because he's a cheer dad. So he gets into the cheerleading with his daughters.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it is getting to that time. I mean, shit, I'm 38. And I mean, you can't race forever. Things do move on. But man, I got so many good things going on right now with the racing. I can't turn nothing down right now because things are going pretty damn good. You got to start performing, and to keep good people in your corner, like the Winners is and all the sponsors we have, you got to perform.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, and by the way, Dirk's watching too. He says he loves you.
I love you,
Dirky. All right, we'll let you get off here, Jacoby. Thank you again for coming on. We definitely appreciate it, and best of luck to you guys in 2023. Because I know, to me, you guys didn't have a terrible year, but I know to your standards, it's definitely not where you want to be. So, best of luck to you guys in 2023.
Hell or high water, something will be better for sure.
Yeah, I know it will. I know you got the drive in you.
We had some goofy motor program stuff going on last year as far as different things, and we got our motor program back to where things are more real, and I think it's going to help a lot. I think me and Ryan, I drug him through the mud last year. You guys don't even understand how much extra work I put on Ryan Thomas in the shop. you just have to be there to see the midnights, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning deals. Him working on my race car to get it better. Hell, I ain't so sure the whole thing at the time was the motor program was off as far as cams, agreeing with our setups and all that stuff. But we got more normal type-ish motors this year, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, good deal. I know you'll improve next year, 100%. I got faith in you.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, we'll see you at the track this summer, and thanks for coming on.
Guys, thank you for all you do. And
No
I
problem.
definitely want to shout out, to all my sponsors, my kids, which, they love the racing stuff.
Right.
And my wife that helps us out a lot. So
Yeah.
thank you guys again for everything you guys do.
Yeah, no problem at all. And we'll see you at the track, probably the Icebreaker. We'll see you there.
Absolutely. We'll see you
All right.
guys.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
See ya. All right. Big thanks to Jacoby for coming on tonight.
What's
Definitely
wrong with
appreciate it.
you?
What?
You're sitting there in awe or something. Good
No.
grief. Daydreaming on me?
No, I'm just sitting here.
So anyway, thanks to everybody for watching tonight. I know
Oh, it's already been an hour.
we like to huh?
It's already been an hour.
Yeah. We like to bring
Holy
guests on
cow.
every now and then. Jacoby's always been a real close friend of mine. I know everybody Jacoby's just an all-around good guy, and I know he does a lot for the modifieds and stuff like that. So what kind of takeaways you guys got tonight from anything? Anything you guys want to say tonight?
I
You guys never have it done.
I talked the whole time. I thought
Yeah.
I thought that was a good show. I think it was cool to learn about the Hines deal.
yeah.
He answered. He didn't dodge questions. He's
Jacoby is
He's
one
Jacoby
of the most
Hines.
honest person you're ever going to talk to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jacoby's exactly how I imagined him to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty
For
good
sure.
segment.
And
That
the
was funny though how Derek didn't comment that whole segment where Jacoby was talking about swimming, and then after he gets off, now he comments.
Because Derek's scared
Derek
death of
can't-
water.
yeah,
he
he
can't
can't
swim.
And Derek threw you under the bus, didn't he?
Yeah,
On
it's
there?
all right.
Yeah, what was that all about?
It's Derek.
Yeah.
Dang no water. Derek, what are you thinking?
I'll tell you what.
What was you thinking,
hard
Derek?
on that?
Wow.
You have one bad season in your life.
I know.
Every season, but this last season has always been good.
I tell you.
It's part of it, I guess.
So I want to know if we're gonna have the big reveal next week about the Peyton and Matt story.
Should, yes. It will be
Yeah.
released before
Yeah.
next week's show.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. So you guys ain't gonna want to miss next. It's gonna be released before.
Probably a picture.
Pictures.
No,
Wait till on
let's
here.
do it on. We're gonna do it on the show.
All right.
live.
Next Thursday
That'd
night.
be-
Make sure
yeah.
you tune in because Matt and Peyton have some late breaking news. Well, you guys already know, but we got some late breaking news for the Flag to Flag media team. You're going to want to be on. I'll have pictures and I'll post them on the show. How about that?
Yep. And we got some other big things happening this week. P3 Graphics coming out to Zach's.
Yep.
We'll have that big unveil this week sometime. You think?
Yeah.
I've seen mock-ups.
Yeah.
I've seen JT's car in
Look,
person too, and it looks sharp.
Yeah.
I
P3
was
out
does
there
great.
today.
I was the first one to see JT's car, and it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I tell you, me and Zach text every day. I mean, it's every day.
I just
That's
didn't
all right.
send him no pictures because
You
I
guys-
didn't want to ruin the surprise.
You guys leave me out all the time about everything. But you did send me some snaps today.
Yeah.
You had the old wheel man working pretty
Had
good
the
in the
wheel man.
garage.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So,
sweet.
Also, too, thanks to everybody that gave me a birthday shout out yesterday. Facebook had it messed up. They said my birthday was today, but it was actually yesterday. Sometimes when you're trying to redo Facebook pages, you got to put different dates in there, so forth. So anyway, but yeah, thanks to everybody that. Make sure you get over to YouTube. We have done a ton of shop talks in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Peyton. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been pretty hot and heavy.
I haven't watched all the shop talks, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you the Steve Peden is a must watch.
Yeah, it's a great
I thought
one.
that was a really good one.
I do know. So March 11th,
Yeah.
original plan was to go to the No Way Out 40. Plans have changed, and Peyton and I, and maybe Roy, if he can go, we'll be headed to 411 Motor Speedway in Tennessee and doing some behind the scenes at track activities with Dustin Linville.
What are we doing,
So-
Zach?
And then,
I don't know.
and then Sunday on the way home, we're stopping at Michael Chilton's and doing a shop talk at Mike Chilton's. So it's gonna be a pretty cool weekend. So
Some of these shop guys, I don't know if people are watching the shop talks like they should, but these aren't just generic shop talks. Dustin Linville, Steve Peden, Tyler Collins. You're talking about some of the best guys in racing, you know?
Yep. We just did Caleb Schreier last week.
Yeah.
I know Caleb's family, the Roos, what they have a great crate race every year at Brownstown, which is big for the crate guys. There's just, and the cool part about the shop talks is, I know I've talked to a lot of people. It's not, I don't care if you've got a 500 square foot shop or a 5,000 square foot shop. It's not about the shop. It is about the shop, but it's about the history behind the shop. It's about your racing program. It's about your sponsors and so forth. So that's why, I mean, I highly recommend everybody go on the Flag to Flag Media YouTube channel and check out the shop talks, because it's just huge for those guys to get the exposure. So,
and if you didn't watch the show last week, like I wasn't here, and that's fine. But one of my main guys sat over there, and you guys got to see how he is in real life.
Bo,
you know, and Bo does so much for me and Zach, really. I mean, Bo's the man. So if you ain't watched that episode, I say go give that a watch too, because that was realistic Bo.
His cheeseburger reviews were hilarious.
Yeah. That's how Bo is.
Terrible. What did it taste like? Terrible.
That's the way Bo is all the time. He's just an awesome dude.
Oh, Bo's an awesome dude. Thanks, Rick Hines, for watching.
Rick Hines watched, huh?
Yeah, definitely appreciate Jacoby coming on, and you guys are a great family, and I've known you for years, but you guys are a great family. Derek Walden's still talking about my 40th birthday party Saturday. Tracy still waiting on shirts. We're getting ready to start shirt production back up, because I know Megan needs a shirt. Tristan needs a shirt. I got the messages.
Mine's got a stain on it.
I got to get some shirts fired back and get it printed off. So
I think it's chili cheese fries from Brownstown.
And then Derek says, I text every day. Nobody ever texts me back. It's because you're talking about kangaroos fighting somebody in Jamaica.
Now listen.
I don't know what he
did. You guys get the text message about super stocks in the dome?
Yeah.
There was no picture with it.
There was no picture, no rules. He's just like, hey, we should go. I was like, you can't just say let's go. I said, I'm down. But we got to know rules and what are we doing? Like, but I'm down if we're going racing.
That's funny. I don't think he knows half time what he's doing.
No, he don't.
No. But next year, if that happens at Dome, next year, JT Huffman Superstock's going. Of course, Zach Stalker's going to get the invite after the year we're getting ready to have.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Buddy.
No faith.
I have so much faith in the program.
You just can't be overconfident.
Let me tell you this. It's a Pierce race car. And this guy, everybody knows Zach Stalker. Everybody knows who he is at the racetrack. Even James Essex knows who Zach Stalker is. Okay. He's a humble guy. This is a Pierce race car by Night Stalker now.
Yeah.
He's got his own mounts on it. And I'm going to tell you guys.
To the front.
Don't underestimate the 11S next year. Don't underestimate
I've never underestimated the 11S.
Quit being so humble. Be honest every now and then. Tell them.
Yeah.
Michael Long updates. Gone.
Yeah, they didn't work.
We are now Pierce by Night Stalker.
I don't think they were really Michael Long updates.
There's little doubts. I've seen what Zach did with it. I've seen pictures. I ain't seen it in person yet. It looks better than what they did anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was a struggle.
Well, if you think about it, though, that's how all racers get better, because none of them chassis are
exactly.
You have to.
Anyway.
Sometimes he's just a little too humble and won't tell the way it is, but Zach does a good job on his stuff. He made this awesome shaker screen. Freaking, you can't order one as nice as Zach made it. You know, this guy, he can do it all. He just got to quit being some modest every now and then.
If anybody's looking for fab work, contact Night Stalker Fab.
Night Stalker Fab.
I'm booked up.
Yeah,
I've got up on my own fab work.
I've got him booked up through April helping me. But
oh, good grief.
It'll be a good time.
What's going on, Aaron? Thanks for watching. Levi Perkins, thanks for all you guys do for the sport. Man, we just love it. Like, we love getting on here, and we're humble.
And we ain't said nothing about Peyton, but we're happy to have Peyton back.
We're happy to have Peyton.
Yep.
Peyton don't really say much, but Peyton he just soaks it all in, and he'll eventually come into it.
I've always liked Peyton. He's got a lot of knowledge. He stole my parking spot today.
I knew that was coming.
I did too.
I'm letting it go. Okay.
That's good.
But Peyton's really overall a good guy. Just he's working on his parking.
Yeah. I'll get a thing. I'll get caution tape out there, and I'll mark your spot off. That way, nobody takes it.
At least I ain't parking on the railroad ties like I did that one night when I was.
Yeah, he did get his truck hung up on the railroad ties.
I'd rather you do that than be in my spot.
That was a bad deal. That was a bad deal.
It was a bad deal.
Them dang Chevys can't pull themselves out of anything, can they?
Shots fired.
It got out. I've hit 2 deer this year, and I've had one little dent. Killed them both. So
they got hung up on railroad ties.
So
exactly.
Before we get off here, we got to count down how many days we got till we start racing down here at Brownstown. A week. How many weeks we got?
Well,
Couple
technically
weeks.
2 weeks is first practice.
A week from Saturday's practice, right?
Yep.
Then
Yeah.
they got another practice after that.
2
And
weeks
then
of
icebreaker
practice.
right after that, right?
And
Yeah.
the icebreaker is the third weekend.
So we're like 4 weeks from 3
4
weeks from
weeks.
Saturday from racing.
Yep.
That's how close it is, folks. So get your stuff ready because it's going to
here.
be good racing this year. I've been monitor. See, I'm getting to talk. I'm doing a lot of
Oh, there
talking
you
now.
go.
It's
There you
fine for
go.
me. I missed last week, so I get to talk.
Go ahead.
But I've been monitoring all the classes.
Go ahead.
I've been monitoring. See, now you got me stuttering. Monitoring. I can't even say it now. Monitoring all the classes. Super Stocks is going to have a big car count. New guys everywhere. Pure Stocks is going to have a big car count. I've seen new Pure Stocks everywhere. Crown Vics. I'm seeing Crown Vics. They're dragging them out of the woods to build them now.
Yep.
I haven't seen a lot of new modified guys. A lot of new crate cars. That's going to be big, I think. And there's a bunch of super shows at Brownstown this year. Going to be a good year for a race fan.
It is. I think the car counts are going to be up this year.
I do too.
All across the board,
Yeah.
which is, I think this is awesome. And I'm telling you right now, with what we've got planned for the 2023 season, as far as flag to flag media goes, there's going to be some cool content.
The tracks are giving back. If you guys haven't got on Circle City and looked at what they're doing,
yes,
payout wise,
like
and
Jacoby said, that's getting people talking.
Zach, what was the talk about the racetrack all year last year? I never went to Circle City. Everybody talked about the rocks, right?
Yep.
They dug them up.
They dug them up, all new clay.
Yep.
Payouts are double.
Yep.
The top 3 spots pay more than it pays to win at Brownstown.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Friday night and 2 hours away and work didn't
Right.
affect it, I'd be down for that. But
Yeah.
the racetracks are giving back.
Yep.
And
that's huge for the sport.
The crowd's they're gonna start coming back. The COVID nonsense is over.
Yep.
Everybody
Time to go racing.
It's time to go back full fledged. Have at it.
I do want to give a shout out to my sponsors tonight before we get off here. Though we got M2 Designs, Midnight Sports Gear, Hillbillies Barbecue and Tenderloins, Greens Auto Sales, Solutions Directional Drilling, Jason Petmeyer's Farm Bureau Agent, B&D Excavating, P3 Graphics, Howler Motorsports and Fab, and a huge thanks to Popbit for coming on the live show and also primary sponsor of the Shop Talk episode. So thanks to Tommy East and what he's done for Flag to Flag Media is greatly appreciated.
Tommy East is all across the country now.
He is.
Popbit is all across the country.
Taking off like crazy. So I know we're excited about race season. Like I said in my post on Facebook, we are officially back on a weekly rotation. So we will be back next Thursday night. So
right, me and Zach will be hit and miss. We got a lot going on right now, but we'll be here as much as we can.
That ain't what the contract says, boys.
Well,
Peyton, are you in full time?
Yeah.
All right. One of you gotta go.
I fully.
Hey, didn't I just pick up a hat while ago and he said that was for the media crew?
Yeah, we're not part of the media crew.
I never said you couldn't have one. I just said those are for the media crew.
I don't know.
Those are limited edition run hats.
not
for the
what I
media
heard.
crew.
I fully acknowledge that we have been disrespected.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, good grief.
And I hate to be like that, but
What?
Peyton comes back and your spot where your parking spot's gone. You can't get a hat. I've had a stain on my shirt for 2 months,
You
and
never told
nobody
me
could.
that.
Oh, that's because you didn't see
You
it.
never once said you had to stay on your shirt. You needed it.
We're going on strike.
Yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna flip
All right,
it. We're
Peyton,
gonna
I'll see
flip
you
it
next
backwards.
Thursday, bud.
We'll flip the name of the show backwards. We'll be Flag to Flag Meet. Oh crap, that won't work.
It
Never
won't
mind.
work.
Dang it.
All right, we're gonna get out of here for the night. Thank you to everybody that watched. Make sure you share this out. And we appreciate everybody's support 100%. We love getting on here every week and talking about racing and what's going on local, regional, and national level. So until the next flag flies, we will see you all later.